Hi all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and I am a makeup enthusiast, a makeup connoisseur, if you will. And my channel is all about not only talking about new makeup and new things, but also talking about old things and learning to enjoy the things that you have and find ways of using them in new and exciting ways. Oh, that's terrible. Hi y'all. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. If you are new, welcome. My name is Amira and I post all about not only new makeup, but also enjoying the makeup that you already have and finding new and exciting ways to use your makeup collection. If that sounds good to you, please be sure to subscribe, and if you enjoy this video, to hit the like button. Today we are doing exactly what I was saying about using your collection in new and exciting ways. And one of my favorite ways to get use out of my eyeshadow palette collection is to do what I call palette mashups. And palette mashups are when I take two palettes that I think would look really amazing together and I do a look combining those two palettes, or utilizing those two palettes, if you will. So today's palette mashup came to me in a stroke of genius as I lay in bed last night. I was like, yes, that would be a beautiful mashup. So today's palette mashup is the Natasha Denona Bronze palette and the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction palette. I will show you the Pat McGrath. This is what it looks like. And then the Natasha Denona Bronze looks like this. They're both bronze. I'm just feeling like I wanted to do a look that was sort of, you know, a bit summery since we're getting into the warmer months. And I just felt like these two palettes, the great thing about the Natasha Denona palette is she has a ton of mattes in it. There's quite a few metallics, but it has far more mattes than a Pat McGrath palette ever has. Pat McGrath is not really, mattes are not like her favorite thing, clearly. If you own any of her palettes, she usually gives you one or two mattes at the most. She does give you satins that you can utilize as mattes, but she doesn't give you a lot of traditional matte finish eyeshadows. Whereas with Natasha Denona, I feel like her palettes are a bit more balanced. You get a bit more of a nice mix. And what I love about these tones is that I feel like hers is really truly a bronze palette. Like that is bronze, you know? And the Pat McGrath palette is not really bronze in my opinion. It's called Bronze Seduction, but I don't find it very bronze. I mean, it has this one sort of flaky bronze shade, which is, you know, I mean, come on, that's stunning if my camera will focus. But yeah, it's so pretty. But the most of this is just more neutral than bronze. But I really wanted to sort of mix some of these like beautiful metallics that she has with my Natasha Denona and see what I get. Just see what happens, you know. It may come out that they look like I could have used it with just one palette, you know, done look with one palette. I don't know yet. We're gonna find out. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Eyes are primed. I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I was originally going to mix and match the mattes, but I think what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to stick with the mattes from the Natasha Denona Bronze palette because she has more options, and then I'm going to pull in the special shades from other palette. I think that's the best way to do this. So let's do this. So let's go into, we're going to go into, do I want to do suntan or ridge? Let's go with, actually, what about beach? And I know they seem really similar, but the thing about Natasha Denona's palettes is that her shades apply much darker on the eye than they do, than they look in the pan. And even when you swatch them, they will look darker than they actually are in the pan. So when I'm saying like, which one do I want to use? These may seem very different to you as far as like tone and like, you know, and then beach and ridge may seem really similar, but they're not. I thought so too. I talked a lot of, actually, let's do sundown. Completely different shade. I talked a lot of crap when this palette came out. I'm not gonna lie. I talked a lot of crap about this palette. When she first debuted it, I was like, It's a bronze palette in the summer. Groundbreaking. And then I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy that palette. And I'm gonna see what she's talking about. Because that's how I am. I'll talk shit about a palette as I'm adding it to my cart. What can I say? You know, that's the problem when you're like a makeup enthusiast. My curiosity almost always gets the better of me. I've gotten better about that, but for the most part, I'm still pretty, I can still get drawn in. I'm gonna go in with suntan now. But yeah, I added this to my cart and I was like, I don't think this palette's gonna be all that. And you know what? I was wrong. I love this palette and I used it a ton when I first purchased it. It was like my go-to palette. And this came out right around, I think this came out during lockdown, to be quite honest. I think this came out during lockdown. That's so funny. Not funny, haha, but you know, funny in the sense of like crazy. But yeah, this came out during lockdown and I wasn't wearing a ton of makeup, but when I was wearing this because it's like natural, but it still gives this, it's still kind of, you can make it really dramatic, you know. I enjoy that. And she does have enough finishes and shades in here that you can get a look that is dimensional, you know, which is hard to do with palettes like this that are basically like all one type of tone. It can be really hard to get dimension and really hard to like create interesting looks. But for me, I've used this palette so many ways. I've used just these two dark shades here. I've used just these two. I've used this one and this one and this one and this one and that one and that one. Like, you can do a lot with this palette, and that's something that surprised me. I'm not gonna lie. When I got my hands on it, when I got my grubby little hands on it, I was shocked at how versatile it is. I'm just doing the same thing that I did on the other eye. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do this one off camera and then I'll come back and we'll just save us some time. All right, guys, I am back. I've done both eyes as far as the, you know, starting on both eyes, and I brought suntan up just a little bit more in the like upper corner, inner corner of my eye, just to give a bit more dimension. I am now going to go in with Magma, Hot Magma. Do you guys know what that's from? Do you know what movie that's from? I hope you do. If you do, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you know where Hot Magma is from. And I'm literally just deepening this up. And this eye is being a little bee, I'm not gonna lie. I've been having eczema issues with my eyes. With this weather, it's just been really hard on my skin in general, because it's just the weather when it's like this and it doesn't know what it wants to be. My skin's like, well, neither do I. Am I irritated? Am I not irritated? What are we doing? And so right now my skin has like no chill. All right. Let's take a smaller brush. And I'm just going to take suntan again. I'm bringing this under here. Like so. And this, I would say, I haven't done a halo eye in forever, I have to say, but this is kind of like the vibe that I like for summer. You know, when I'm doing like a smoky eye, I tend to go for like a bronzy red, you know. I find those shades really sexy, you know, in the summertime. So that's really my vibe in the summer. So I'm gonna bring this up a little bit. Okay. And a little bit of magma. Actually, I think I'm gonna use a bigger brush because I want to make this, I think I'm gonna make this super smoky and make it a little bit grungy under the eye. I go grungy under the eye when I'm not trying to go grungy under the eye though. Who am I kidding? So sometimes I just like, just go with it, Amir. You're gonna wind up there anyway. All right, so those are my mattes. Let's get into the Pat McGrath special shades. All right, guys, so I've got two things here. I've got the Intensifies Artistry Wand from Mother Pat, and then I've got my regular glitter glue from Too Faced. Honestly, let's do one on one eye and one on the other, because I honestly have yet to do like a true comparison of how this works in you know, next to or in lieu of a traditional glitter glue. So let's just try. So I'm going to use the Intensifies on this eye. And I'm taking this all the way up because, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And let's dip into the shade that I want to use. And I'm going to get my 21 brush. Let's go into, and we're using Blitz Flame for this. You put a red metallic in my hand, I will be happy. Like, I would just be happy. I will be happy. I don't need much else in life. Oh, that's so pretty. All right, let me go in with Magma. I just want to blend those edges out so that they don't look, they look nice and seamless. How pretty is this? This shade is just, I mean, am I putting some more? Yes. Do I need to put more? Not really. Am I putting some more? Yeah. All right. Now let's do glitter glue on the other eye. Okay, glitter glue has been applied. I can tell you right now that the Intensifies is more pleasant feeling on the lid than glitter glue. Just something I noticed in this moment. I mean, I've never really used both at the same time, so I've never really had a moment to like compare the feeling of the two, but the glitter glue feels, you know, stickier naturally, a bit more clingy to the skin. Oops, sorry guys, blinding you there. I think, I mean, let me just blend these edges out, but guys, I have thoughts already. I think I like this eye better. Now, I love glitter glue. It comes in clutch. But I think what I like about the Intensifies with Pat's special shades is that the Intensifies is actually more malleable. Like once with glitter glue, it's a glue. So once you stick it down, you can kind of blend, but not really. With the Intensifies, you can actually manipulate a little bit, you know? I don't have fallout with either one, so that's awesome. But I feel like this one is smoother and that one's more chunky. See my little eczema patch? I won't talk about it as I talk about it, but I won't talk about it. All right, now I want to do some pat special shades in the inner corner. So I'm going to actually take the intensifies and I'm going to do this on both sides because I don't really want glitter glue in my inner corner. You know, no thanks. And let's take, guys, which one should I use? This one or this one? Oh, I like them both. But I think I'm going to go with this one. Now, if you've seen my Pat McGrath ranking, then you know that Bronze Seduction doesn't actually rank that high on my list as far as her palettes go. And it's not because it's a bad palette by any means. Pat doesn't really have any bad palettes, and I'm being dead serious when I say that. You know, some brands you can be like, that palette is shit. She doesn't have shit palettes. You may not like the color story. You may feel like the color story is repetitive, blah, blah, blah. All of those are valid criticisms. But she doesn't have shitty palettes, guys. All of her palettes are badass. And so for me, it's really all about like how much I reach for something and like things like that. And for me, I don't reach for Bronze Seduction as a whole very often. Even here, you can see kind of how I use Bronze Seduction. I don't really reach into the mask when I use this palette. I go straight to the special shades because that's what makes this palette. It's this red special shade and the other special shades. That's what makes this palette. Whereas something like the bronze palette from Natasha Denona, that's a palette that I use and I can do a complete cohesive look all right there. This one for me really functions almost like a quad, and if I need to reach into some of these other shades, that I can, but I don't generally. Hence why it doesn't rank as high. Now I'm going to take one of my favorite shades from the bronze palette, and actually I should put some intensifiers under my eyes. I'm going to do that. Let's do this, okay? Let's do it. One thing I will say about the intensifiers that I don't like and that I've noticed is that it does pick up a bit of your product when you put it down, which is a bit annoying, you know, but and I'm using the shade because it's metallic, but it's nowhere near as metallic as Pat's special shades are, you know, and I just want a little bit of this kind of tone, but I don't want the intensity of the sheen, if that makes sense. And then I'm going to take, now I think I am going to actually reach, see, I'm going to actually reach into the Pat McGrath, and I'm going to reach into this really dark brown, or should I use the burgundy? Let's do the burgundy. Why not? This is a palette mashup. Let's mash some shit up. All right, I'm going to do that. And my eye wants to water, so I love that for me right now. Love that for me. Am I going ham on the lower lash line? Yes. The answer to that is yes. You're like, that's a lot of product under there, girl. And I'm like, yeah, it is. What's it to you? All right, let me get some mascara, and I think I'm going to grab a pencil for my waterline, and I will be back. All right, gang, I have applied my pencil and my waterline. What did I use? I use the Charlotte Tilbury, what is this? The eyeliner duo in Mesmerizing Maroon. I think these are discontinued, which is unfortunate because they're really good pencils. And then I used my Milk Makeup Rise mascara, which first time I used this, I wasn't sure about it, but it's growing on me. I've been enjoying using this. I think I'm not going to do my lips because I've got things going on, but you'll see. Coming to a YouTube near you. I am going to put some bronzing. Well, I have bronzer on, but I keep calling this a bronzing powder because it's a highlighter, but I use it like over my bronzer, so I think it's bronzer. It's the About Face Beauty light spun powder, or light lock powder in light spun. And I'm just going to apply that here because I didn't do this in my other video. So I'm like, I could do that on camera with you guys again, right here. You see how that just like brightens up my skin? Like it just gives such a nice glow. I loves it. I loves it. I tell you what, I'm gonna put a lip on for you guys. I don't want to, but I'm gonna do it for you. Let's do Merit Cabo. And if it's basically kind of a clue for what the next video will be, because it'll be another lipstick video similar to the one I did before. This is looking juicy, man. I'm not mad at it. What do you guys think? Too much? Is there such a thing? I think not. Let me zoom you guys out. All right, guys, so this is the finished product. Let me know. What do you think? What do you think of these two palettes together? Do you own either of these two palettes? If you own both, have you tried putting them together and seeing how they look together? Because I have not. I had this came to me in a vision in the night. I was literally in bed and I said, aha! Bronze Seduction and Bronze palettes make a baby. And this is the baby on my eyes. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Let me turn my lights down a bit so you can see that a little bit more. This red in Bronze Seduction, in my opinion, is worth it's worth the price of the palette alone. I mean, is that a dramatic thing to say for a $125 palette? Yes, but I'm a Gemini with a Leo rising, so drama will be had. Do you like this look? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you are not subscribed, please subscribe and don't forget to hit the like button. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye now.